Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now today's video is pretty cool. I am going to explain something from the gear reviewer's perspective, which is, and especially from my channel, if you've watched my channel you probably realize maybe a couple of things. One is I tend to gravitate a little bit towards higher end gear, call it like mid-range to higher end gear. The other thing is that I don't often talk about money. I don't talk about what things cost or what value you get from it. I feel as though that's something that's kind of like a personal belief, and everybody sort of lives in a different price range and what they can afford or not afford, and I don't often talk about money or value. But with that said, every now and then I get solicited from companies to help them out, to work with them, to provide reviews. Some products are a little more mid-range or high-end. Other products are considered to be budget items. And I've recently been contacted by a company called Wolfyok. They reached out to me and asked if I would provide them with a review for one of their products, and allowed me to select a product. And I figured I'd take a look at what they had available. And they have a nice small selection of things, not a lot. They sell straight off of the Amazon store, so it was very convenient. They were very easy to work with and had excellent communication, and so I decided I would move forward. Now, looking at their products, I assumed off the get-go that they were going to essentially be considered a budget item, but then I received the hammock that they sent me. And my mind has now changed, and I say, you know what, this is not necessarily a budget item. This is a high value product. And why I say that, my initial impression of this is that it has very nice features, excellent construction, is high quality, and for a very reasonable price. So that changes my mind, saying it's not necessarily a budget item, rather a high value item. And I'm going to share this with you today. So here you'll see I have a Wolfyok double hammock, a set of straps, and some accessory carabiners that actually come with the straps. My very initial impression when I opened this up was quality. There were a lot of things that were sort of a telltale sign, and some of it was subtle, but at the same time just kind of caught my mind, caught my attention, and silly little things, but you know, just a simple thing like actually a decent Ziploc bag, and then inside they have these sort of nice thick cardstock, well printed, just, you know, nice little advertisements, and you know, them looking for feedback and reviews, and you know, it's kind of like they're not afraid to get their name out there, and they're soliciting people to actually kind of speak up about them, which I like. So obviously they're not shy, and they're looking to, you know, kind of get their name and the quality out there, which I like. And that's also holding true not only just for the little card, but you know, the you know, sort of paperwork that comes attached to the products. And then when I sort of held this hammock for the first time, I mean, it's a little bit on the heavy side. This is not a lightweight option, but when I felt it and I looked at the way it was constructed, and just my initial impression, how nice the logo was and the way it's stitched on there, and then just the details on the outside of this, even before I opened this thing up, I was like, wow, this is actually really nice. So that is, in my mind, like first impressions of things goes a real long way, and this just presented itself extremely nice the minute I opened the box. And so I have yet to even open this. The only thing that I have taken out so far is this carabiner, which is an accessory with these additional straps. So you get you know, these as a separate item. I guess there is potentially a combo that you can buy that kind of gives you a discount if you get these both at the same time. But you can certainly get these individually, and then when you get these straps, you get kind of like an upgraded carabiner with them. So anyway, I opened the carabiner and just kind of was feeling the quality of the clip and the machining and just how it felt in my hands, and I was like, wow, that's nice. I mean, very nice quality, excellent spring. You can kind of hear that. It's got some, good tension to it. It just feels nice. Has it's not heavy. It just has like a nice weight and a nice feel to it in the way it's machined. So I'm hoping that as I go through the rest of this product, I'm going to continue to see telltale signs of quality, and I'm going to point it out to you as we go along so that you can kind of follow along with me and see if this is a product that would work well for you. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I see the name of a company and it's Wolfyok, I'm like, I don't know, what's Wolfyok? Kind of caught me a little bit by surprise. But then, I'm starting to take a look at this and I go, you know what? That's a pretty sharp logo, actually. I do like that. I think it's an interesting look. I like the design. I like the, design elements. I like this patch and how they put it together. And it's just a nice tone and it just works very well. And the colors that they selected for this particular hammock is just really nice. I love the combination of the orange and the gray. And then just these little details. I mean, this strap down the side here totally did not need to be on here. Didn't need to be. Fact is, they put it on here. And then when you go to the top, it has just a real nice buckle. Kind of, unstraps there. Now, this to me would give you a couple of options. You could use this to kind of strap this thing onto your pack if you wanted to and just secure it maybe on the outside. Or if you had, a couple other things that you wanted to clip onto here, you certainly could. And I mean, again, this is not really needed, but it's just an additional sort of feature that you get in its quality, and it has nice clips, and it works well, and it looks good, and just like I said, just telltale signs of quality as I go through this product. Now, getting into this, again, I have not yet even opened this up, but you end up with a drawstring with a little keeper here, and again, that's not a cheap keeper. And that feels nice, has a nice spring, feels good as you sort of depress it and pull it out of the way. Sometimes these things are really cheap and feel flimsy or floppy, and this just feels like they used a good quality one. Now, opening up inside, this has some straps, and you can see why I opted for the actual call it tree straps, just because I don't necessarily like these rope ones, and they are sometimes either too short to do the job or could potentially damage the tree. So anyway, moving on, the next piece of this is, I believe these are related to the tree straps. I got to figure that out. And then pulling out the actual hammock. It's nicely folded inside, actually kind of like rolled up. So as I pop it out here, this stuff sack is sewn right onto the hammock. So opening this up right away, this is a very good sign. I like what I see. I love the way that stitching looks. Right away, I look at that and I say that is well done. No fray. Nice and straight, nice clean line, beautiful two-tone. I actually like that the white is like an offset color here. It adds to the appearance. It adds to the overall appeal of this particular product. So just opening this up, my opinion continues to hold strong. Looks to be nice in quality, but let's keep going through this and continue to pick this thing apart. Now, getting to the end here, this is where your carabiner is basically going to connect to your tree straps. And so you'll see how this is all configured here. Again, continuing to look at it, nice quality construction. I don't see any fraying or loose materials. This carabiner is equally quality to the other one I showed you, only this is a very heavy sort of steel model versus this is a lighter weight aluminum You can see the difference there. I mean, these are definitely an upgrade, so it's nice to get the upgraded carabiners here. And, you know, even right away I can just kind of slip this thing out, and we'll pop it out here and get it out of the way, and throw on the upgraded one, and that's how that looks. So pretty cool. It's nice that this actually continues to tie in and sort of match. It's anodized, so obviously it looks a little bit different, but anyway, nice. Okay, so if we look at the end here, basically the suspension system, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen if this is going to pull out, and it does. I can see this being a pain in the neck. This supposedly can be used as like a ground sheet, so that if you wanted to, you can use this in another location on the ground and also sit on it. So that was the idea, but now I'm wondering about how much of a pain in the butt this is going to be to get back inside there. But the theory is that this thing can be spread out and used as a ground sheet. I mean, the suspension is nice. It's a decent strap. I mean, if you look at it here, the way it's sewn together, looks to be quite sturdy. Nice construction, nicely sewn. Nice in terms of, you know, it's not crooked. They did a good job lining everything up. It just looks to me, when I look at this, like they're paying attention to the details, and it's quality manufacturing. You know, sometimes on cheaper products, the concept is good and the theory is good, but then the actual craftsmanship is not there. And I don't see that to be the case here. I see a nice quality attention to detail, nice features, great colors, and overall I am still quite impressed with this product. Now I'm just going to kind of glance over this whole thing, see if there's anything glaring, just to kind of solve this finally in my mind, and then a little bit later on go outside and set this thing up. And actually here, that's kind of like a critical spot. Getting in here where you see all the seams coming together, it's nicely done. Overall, very well done. Alright, so before I go too much further, how much of a pain in the neck is it going to be to get this thing back in here? And I suspect it's going to be pretty rough, but I don't know. I don't even know what method to use once this starts bunching up, but let's try it. So basically what I'll do actually is, let's just get a carabiner on here so it can't slide off, all the way off. And I'm just going to try to feed this piece of webbing through here, which means I need to bunch up everything on this other end. Okay, so now, bam. All right. So it took me literally just a couple of minutes. It wasn't terrible, but it was a little bit of a pain in the neck. And it didn't, I don't know, like I said, it wasn't difficult. It just took a little bit of time. And so now I'm just going to get this put back the way it's supposed to be. So overall, that wasn't too bad. I guess for the intended purpose, if you really wanted to use this as a ground sheet, you could. I don't know if I would suggest it, just because then obviously you have to put it back together. But it gives you options, and I mean, multiple purposes. You know, to use this other than just simply a hammock, it does give you, I guess, another option for another way that you can use this product. So overall, that wasn't too difficult, and it definitely will work. All right, and so now I'll open up these tree straps, which again comes with upgraded carabiners. And I'm just gonna pop open this pouch, and we have two. So these are apparently 12 feet. They have many loops, so as I go along here you can see different adjustability on all these loops. as you wrap this around the tree. Now, if you've ever seen the ENO Atlas straps, these are extremely similar. In fact, the main reason why I'm actually kind of talking about this product and in terms of value is comparing it to like an ENO product, which at this point has a pretty high value. I mean, but overall a decent cost. So if this is a good quality comparable product, and I could recommend this, I guess, to save you some money and get pretty much the same function out of it, that's kind of where I think I'm going with this. So anyway, taking a look at these straps, they are extremely similar to the ENO Atlas straps, and overall very similar construction. They appear to have overall, like I had mentioned, 12 feet of strap, as well as a 700-pound capacity. Now I believe that 700 pounds is simply going to be with two of these. Obviously it's not 700 each. I mean, that'd be 1,400 pounds. I don't think these could hold, you know, 3/4 of a ton, but 700 pounds is certainly pretty significant weight. Okay, so just reviewing that, this double hammock does have a 660-pound weight capacity, as it's stated on the Wolfyok Amazon store listing. So a pretty significant amount of weight that this hammock can hold. So anyway, overall the quality looks to be great. The straps look to be great. I'm going to probably not talk too much about these. Maybe I'll try to set this thing up a little bit later with these. I'm not sure exactly how it goes, but I'll figure it out. And at least that way you can kind of see how this thing gets set up, both in terms of its sort of standard purchase for if you only wanted to buy the double hammock, or if you wanted to set it up also with the additional accessory tree straps. So anyway, in terms of value, I look to see that this is a very high value, nice quality construction overall. You're talking here for everything that you see roughly $43 US. So that's like 26 bucks for the actual hammock itself, and then in the $16 to $18 range for the straps. So overall a very nice quality product. Good, very nice price. I mean, to get into a hammock of this quality for right around $42 or $43 is definitely great value in my opinion. Okay, so I'm out here in the woods going to get this hammock set up, and there are two different types of straps. So as I mentioned, there are the ones that actually come with the hammock, and then there's the accessory tree straps that you can buy individually. But I'm going to have you quickly take a look at these straps. These are more of a rope, but then they also give you this like sleeve that you basically would slide the rope through to create at least a little protection for the tree. And on these, overall the stitching is pretty good, but on one of them, and it's this one here, you can see that that stitching has let go, and that's going to continue to pull. So that is a bit of a problem. This is the first place on any of this gear that I've seen just a little bit of a defect. Now that is very simple to fix. You know, I just need to get a couple of stitches in here and reinforce that if I want to use these. But I'm not even going to set this up using these straps. I'm going to use the extra long accessory tree straps to set the hammock up today. Now, as I mentioned, I feel as though this Wolfyok product has a lot of similarities to ENO, and that is also true with the straps. So here I have the Wolfyok extra long accessory strap, and then here I have the ENO strap. So these are just the regular length ones. So if I compare in length these regular tree straps here to the Wolfyok extra long, as I go through and go down, you'll see here the ENO is basically ending here, and then the Wolfyok gives you an additional few feet. So the extra long definitely does give you a few extra feet that you might need if you had either a long expanse between two different trees, or maybe trees of a really large diameter. So I know E&O does also have extra long straps, but in this case I've never had them. Just a quick comparison of the lengths. And then also, if you look up close here, here we have both of them. Just going to give you a little bit of the details. So the blue is the E&O, and then the white here is that Wolfyok. So I'll flip these the same direction so you can see overall the stitching and quality is quite similar, basically almost identical in a way how these are fabricated and constructed. So the Wolfyok, I can tell you, does feel maybe just a little bit thicker, and I don't know if that's for added weight capacity. Basically it does say that these E&O straps can combine up to about 400 pounds, and then these Wolfyok can combine up to about 700 pounds. So in that case, I would say that, you know, this probably is a little bit thicker. It feels thicker, a little bit more stiff. These are a little bit thinner and a little more bendable. So anyway, overall, very, very similar in construction and quality. So again, just pointing back to the fact that this Wolfyok product really is quite nice. So at this point, I have selected a couple of trees that I'm going to set this hammock up on. I'm going to get these straps laid out here nice and flat and prepared, and then I'll actually lay out that hammock. So for today, I have used these upgraded carabiners. I just wanted to give them a go. I mean, as I showed you a little bit earlier, that there are two different carabiner types, but I did want to use these upgraded ones just to try it. And so I'm going to do my best to get this thing hopefully laid out here and reasonably level. It's going to maybe take a couple of tries to get it right, but setup with these straps is super simple. I mean, just so easy. That's what's kind of nice about this style. You have a lot of different selection in terms of the overall height that you can go after. And you know, I can see here already this is a little bit low, so I'm going to come over here and maybe clip this up to the very top one. And so already I'm seeing a little bit of a detriment, as crazy as that sounds, to the extra long straps. If I basically pace off here 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 feet between trees, this is still a little low for my liking, because by the time this flexes, it's going to be tight to the ground. And at this point, I have used up basically all the loops. There are none higher. So now I either have to double these up or loop them around a couple of times or something like that. But it's just going to take me an additional minute here to get this set up to the proper height, and then we'll move on. All right, so I'm fully set up here, and then ultimately what I did, if you look here, this down here is the intended loop that you go around, but basically I just went around the first adjustment loop. You know, I basically just picked the very first one and wrapped that around the tree. Now I don't know if that ultimately is derating this strap. I have no idea. I can tell you that I've done this numerous times with my E&O straps without problems. I'm certainly not coming anywhere close to the 700 pound capacity of these straps, so I don't see it being a problem, and it gets me going in a pinch. So anyway, you can see here, just nice connection. Here's the actual suspension for the hammock, and the hammock itself nicely laid out. Here's some of that stitching I was talking about, just has a nice pop, nice color combination between the orange and the gray, and overall quite nice. So I'm basically getting close to wrapping this up here. I'm gonna lay in this thing, give it a little bit of an impression, let you know my thoughts, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Now from a distance, it is quite bright, literally like the brightest thing out here. I kind of wish they had a little more of a subdued color. something that would blend in a little bit more. But overall, it is quite nice. So alright, just to wrap up a few thoughts here. As I've gone through this entire product, I found that these Wolfyok hammocks and straps are a very high quality product. Basically, excellent construction, overall excellent materials, good look, good function, and so from that perspective I am very happy. Only one suggestion that I can make, and it's really my only criticism, is that they are very limited in their color selection. So for me, I picked one that would be sort of the most appropriate, but even in this surrounding, a bright orange to me just isn't what I'm looking for. I personally like a little bit more of a subdued look, something more like a green or a brown or even a tan that would sort of blend in better with my surroundings. You know, I'm out here today kind of trying to relax and take it easy and maintain a low profile, and I just kind of, to be honest with you, don't want people to see me or really even know that I'm here. So to have this like bright orange massive hammock isn't really quite working for me. So Wolfyok, if you're listening, please provide a greater range in the future of color selections and something that's a little more subdued. But overall, I am very happy with this product. You know, I'd like to say that I think this is something that pretty much everybody should have in terms of a component for either general outdoor recreation or something that they're putting in their kit. You know, I have had a number of different hammocks, including everything from a lightweight sil nylon all the way to these parachute fabric hammocks. And the good thing about these parachute fabric hammocks is that they are quite durable. You know, I'm a little bit hesitant to take out my lightweight sil nylon hammock and use it in general use, simply because I just simply don't want to damage it. It's not that it's not durable or that it's prone to failure, it's just a little bit on the delicate side. So I feel funny about putting my feet up with my boots and really tugging the thing around, and I would never let my kids in it. But these parachute hammocks are quite durable and very sturdy, and you know, I wrestle my kids in them and roll around, and I've never really had a problem, so I very much trust them. And that to me is, you know, for a reasonable price, something totally worth having. In this Wolfyok product, I find a lot of value. Nice quality, high quality construction. The straps are great, and overall for something in the low $40 range with the straps and the hammock is great. So I know I don't typically talk about price and I don't often talk about value, but in this case it's worth it. A very high quality and valued product. Nice job, Wolfyok. Way to go. So alright guys, there you have it. A quick look at the double hammock from Wolfyok. Like I said, overall, very nice product. I highly recommend it, and I suggest that you get something like this for you. It's a perfect opportunity to add it to your kit, or with holidays coming up or birthdays or different things. This to me is something that you could absolutely get for pretty much anybody, so it makes an excellent gift, or makes something great that you can just additionally supplement your kit and have with you at all times. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.